Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with more deck techs, and it is Wilds of Eldraine. Obviously, I'm here now, we've hit it up. Just a quick update for any of you who watched the draft video that went up last week where I did really badly. I had another go, and I drafted this on MTGO. Black Red. This was tipped off to me by one of my mods, VIPs on Twitch, Tondel. So thank you, Tondel, for tipping me off about how good red black is at the moment. I went with this 16 lands and a whole load of other stuff. Managed to go 2-1 with it, which was better than what I did on the video you probably watched the other day. But it did mean that I also won Beseech the Mirror in my prize packs, which at the time I recorded this was worth a lot of tickets on MTGO, so that's disappeared. So I now have all the legends, so there are going to be a lot of deck techs coming. But you're not here for me to talk about drafting today, you're here for me to talk about this guy, which is Brenard, Ginger Sculptor. 1 green, white and blue for a 3/3 legendary creature human artificer. Okay, weird stats for 4 mana, 3/3. Okay, it's legendary. But each creature you control that's a food or a golem gets +2/+2 and has trample. And whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's 1/1 food golem and has sacrifice, gain 3 life for 2 mana and a tap. So, basically, your creatures come into play. When they die, they become food golem tokens if you want them to. But yeah, there's not that many guys around at the moment who are food golems in the set. Even considering we've now got 2 Eldraine sets on the go, there's only a couple of creatures that fit that archetype. So I had to go a little bit, as you would have thought, differently. And I went down the golem route. Then I realised the golems are a lot of Phyrexian things and wasn't that impressed with that idea. So I looked around, I had a think, and then I cheated. And I went with shapeshifters. So this is what we're doing today. As usual, the mana is here. Blue, green and white lands everywhere you can imagine. Some basics of each type, along with the usual selection. Temple of the False God, Reliquary Towers here. Spara's Headquarters, Seaside Citadel. Just in case you're wondering if they're here, they are both here, so keep them in. Yeah, that should be alright. I'm not overly concerned. I also chucked in Crystal Grotto. I quite like this. I'm not keen on the the temple lands have an ability. I'm not going to say that. They come in, they scry, they come into play tap, and they tap for 1 mana or 1 of each pairing of mana on their card. Fine. Crystal Grotto comes into play untapped, only taps for colourless mana, but it does still do the same scry. I think it's quite good. I'm not saying it's going to be in every single deck I play from now on until the end of time, but yeah, I'm going to try it out a little bit more. I think it's worth it. The extra scry could be useful, especially in some dual, tricolour decks like this one is. So bear that in mind. The rest of the ramp, Soul Rings here, Arcane Signets here, Talismans of each colour is also here, along with my traditional Solemn Simulacrum, who also doubles up in this deck as a golem, who can become a 4/4 with trample, which is quite nice for a change. The rest of the deck, however, are unfortunately things with Changeling. So, you may not like Changelings, you may think it's a bit of a cheat, but it's quite nice because, they get +2/+2 and have trample. So, your Moth Dust Changeling here becomes a 3/3 with trample, which is okay, and you can tap another creature to give it flying. That's okay. And then there's ramp stuff. So, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Birds of Paradise, Gilded Ghost, Noble Hierarch, they're all here. Might as well have them all in just for the manas they can provide. Gilded Ghost is also here. It gives a little bit of food if we need it, just to keep ourselves alive. Utopia Sprawl makes an appearance for the first time in a long time. One of my decks that's not constructed. I decided to go with this in here just to help with the ramp out a little bit. One of the few food golem creatures is Ginger Brute. This is the original one from Eldraine. I prefer the artwork on this one compared to the new artwork, but that's just me. And Universal Autonomon is an artifact creature that's a shapeshifter. That's every card type. So, colours 3/3 once we get Brenard down. Imposter of the Sixth Pride becomes a big 5/3 threat for 2 mana if it comes into play with Brennan. Sylvan Carotid Divisar Ramping. The other food golem creature is here. Tough Cookie. I'd love to know who made up these names when they were playing these in Wizards Land, but you know. Target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature until the end of turn, which is quite nice. Because that means we can turn some of our other stuff in for beaters that people weren't expecting. So, you know, it's all the same. Woodland Changeling, just a 2/2 shapeshifter. Sterling Grove is here to protect our enchantments. We have a few, and one of them is really important, so I'll get to it. Lightning Greaves and wherever the other one is, Swiftfoot Boots are here to protect Brenard. Metallic Mimic obviously is a shapeshifter that's good because we choose Golem as our creature type and everyone gets a +1/+1 counter. And I've also played the 3 Bowls of Porridge. It's colourless removal at the end of the day for a small creature. So, you know, 2 damage to a creature, tap a creature, and then gain some food, gain some life. That's fine. We'll do these first 2 abilities first, then this. But I want to play this one because it's quite nice having a bit of colourless removal. Yeah, okay, it's 4 mana to do 2 damage, fine. But I can cope with that over a few turns with this deck, I feel. I was talking about important enchantments because that's why Sterling Grove's here. The most important one on the deck is this. Arcane Adaptation. I'm expecting people were expecting to see this in the deck, but you will just choose Golem for this. Because we do have a few creatures that come in that aren't Golems, and we do want them to get this lovely +2/+2 from Brenard all the time. And it's a case of let's play this out, name it as Golem, and hopefully all our creatures are still Golems anyway, but it gives us another way around it. So bear it in mind. You can change the creature base, you know. It turns things like the Pilgrim Birds, Gilded Ghost, Noble Hierarch into Golems, which is nice. The more 3/3s. Even our Sylvian Carotid becomes a 3/6 defender. Not the worst creature in the world when that happens. So yeah, hence why Arcane Adaptation makes an appearance today. Anyway, Cultivate for some ramp. Hollow Scavenger, the wolf, hopefully becomes a Golem, gets a food token, that's nice. Gives us a nice way of sacrificing our foods out to make them even bigger. Kadoma's Reach for more ramp. Realm Walker, so choose a creature type. You may look at the top card of your library. You may cast a creature of the chosen type from the top of your library. Yep, another way of making everything. Well, this is a golem itself, and we choose golems and just keep casting the golems from top of our library. Yeah, okay then. The Court of Garenbrig makes an appearance, enters the battlefield, we become the Monarch, and at the beginning of your upkeep, distribute a couple of +1/+1 counters amongst up to 2 target creatures. Then if you're the Monarch, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Nice enchantment, this one. I'm really impressed with this one. The first of the Phyrexian ones that produces golems appears now. Malcator, Purity, Overseer. Hopefully we'll occasionally have 3 or more artifacts entering our turn under our control and we get another golem, so that's fine. But I'll play 3 mana for 4 powers worth of creatures. I'll cope with that. Shardless Agent, just to cascade into one of these and hopefully, you know, become a golem itself, and it's another artifact. Bears of Litarjara, the saga from Kaldheim, also gives us shapeshifters. I can cope with that plan. Broker's Ascendancy, put some more +1/+1 counters around and loyalty counters on planeswalkers. Golem Foundry, we do cast a few artifact spells, obviously. We've got quite a few sitting here. So we might as well try and play the Golem Foundry as well and try and get some golems out. This may be a card you can cut and put the 37th land in if you want to. I'm not 100% sure how well it's going to work out at this rate, but I figure it's worth a try. And Howling Golem, just be a card draw for everyone that no one kills. Malcator I've mentioned a few times, so hence why we have Anointed Procession and Parallel Lives in the deck. We get more tokens as the golems hit, so and extra foods. Smothering Tithe, yeah, okay. Anyway, Court of Arden Vale. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target permanent card mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. If you're the Monarch, chuck in the battlefield. So if any of these get killed off, gives us a nice way of bringing them all back. These courts are good. Pick them up when you can. Shasamima of 1,000 Faces gets around the whole let's copy everything. It's a great target if you can copy Brenard, so it makes all your golems get +4/+4. Spark Double does the same thing. It's also, it copies it and it doesn't become legendary. So, yep, cope with that. A little bit of copying fun. Next one of the ones that gives golems as it comes into play, wing splicers here from New Phyrexia. Create a 3/3 colourless golem, and other golem creatures you control have flying. So yeah, nice for the arcane adaptation. Call to the Vantress. Beginning your upkeep, choose up to one other target enchantment or artifact. If you're the monarch, create a token that's a copy of it. If not, Call of Vantress copies it and becomes it. Hopefully we'll be the monarch. Multiple anointed processions and parallel lives for this deck could be quite tasty. Sky Beast Tracker, just because it produces a food token and I want another reach creature just in case. And I like playing with the new cards, testing them out even if it is common. Vitality Splicer lets us regenerate our golems and creates one when it comes into battlefield. Provisions Merchant gives us a food token, and whenever it attacks we can sacrifice a food, give all our creatures +1/+1 and gain for trample to the end of the turn. Nice little overrunish type effect. Adrex and Nev Twincasters has got ward and doubles up our tokens, so it's like a combined version, one of the parallel lives type things. Quandrix Cultivator, just so we can get those lands, a forest or an island card, and put it into our battlefield, then shuffle. Great thing, that's why we have things like Idyllic Beachfront in here in the first place. Ancestral Statue, return as battlefield, you may return a non-land permanent you control. Return a non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. Lovely way of bouncing back some of the things that produce golems when they come into play. And it's a golem itself. Golden Guardian is the one you want to transform as quickly as possible. Yes, killing off one of your creatures, it would be annoying. I agree with that. However, you want to get it flipped to produce the extra mana or have a way of producing those golem tokens. You can't beat extra golem tokens of this deck. It's fine. Reflections of Liljara is also here because obviously we're picking golems. We're going to be get some copies of things go along. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. Yeah, okay then. That's fine. Bit awkward because you copy Brenard, and yeah, it dies unless you've managed to get old Shaskasima in play, in which case lots of copies Brenard make things difficult. Morphling is a shapeshifter, which I didn't realise, hence why it's here. An appearance of Old School, along with Thornling, which was the green version of Morphling. Again, another one that's a shapeshifter I didn't realise. So yeah, hey hum, more goblins, gets bigger. We'll go with that. Tech Salvage Splicer is also here. Graveyards, when creatures go to the grave, when an artifact's put in a graveyard, we get to put some +1/+1 counters on our golems and ikat. So yeah, okay, go with that. Webweaver Changeling, a big reach golem. Against, if there's 3 or more creature cards in your live graveyard, you gain some life as well, so that helps. Glass Dusk Hulk is also a golem, but this is probably here more for the cycling. I'm not sure we're going to be casting this that often, but we will see. And Moret of the Frost, another one that gets to copy something as it comes into play, except it's legendary and it's snow. So yeah, maybe it's one of the things you can copy. Thornling, Morphling, yeah, anything like that. Epitaph Golem is just here to recycle stuff into the bottom of our library if we need it to. Masterful Replication, choose one, get some golems, or choose target artifact you control. Each other artifact you control becomes a copy of that artifact until the end of turn. You're going to make golems with this, aren't you? 5/6 mana for 2/3/3, so I can cope with that at instant speed. And the Gruff Triplets. You can see I searched this out and put it in the deck earlier on. Enter the battlefield. If it isn't a token, create 2 tokens that are copies of it. And Anointed Possession, Parallel Lives, Adrex gives you even more copies of the tokens that come into play. It's got to be fun trying to get some really big Satyr warriors with trample hanging around in your game. Dark Steel Splicer, or another non-token Phyrexian into the battlefield as you control. Get X 3/3 colourless Phyrexian tokens, where X is the number of opponents you have, and makes golems indestructible. This is nice, especially if you've got Arcane Adaptation down. Make everything you've got in play indestructible because they will be named as golem. Boulder Branch Golem comes out as well, just to have a little bit of fun. I thought we'd have the prototype in from the prototype in from Brothers War. Hence why it's here. And then I couldn't resist it. We're in the right colours. The Goose Mother, when it attacks, create X. It's battlefield, create half of the X food tokens rounded up, and whenever Goose Mother attacks, you may sacrifice food, draw a card. Goose Mother will be coming back as its own commander deck at some stage, but I decided to include it here for a bit of fun. And that's it. That is my take on Brenard, a ginger sculptor. I hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry for the sojourn back into Draftland at the start of the video, but I'm hoping you've hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. We're having a weird time on YouTube at the moment. I'm gone back to 230 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed before, please hit the subscribe button, help me out. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think I've missed out, what you think you should included. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another deck tech. Take care. See you. Oh, if you want to come see me play us on Twitch, link down below. Come and join me on Twitch over there. 189 followers over on Twitch, so a few more of you over there would be quite nice. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you on Twitch soon. Bye.